This day 1,000 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor coming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing You're There. Simon Tzadik Vav, Sif Yudalit to Sif Chav. Yudalit. Kasar Ben Beis Yosef. Dogim Luchim, herring, salted fish, Shavel Chatar Botstone, it's the equivalent of cutting radishes. Please, according to this, herring shalano and our herring, in Chatar Basakin Shaliser, if you cut it with a prohibited knife, Kedei Natila body also. So Kedei Natila certainly also. That's a Ben Amoyesh, also Lakula Chatila. It's preferable to just chunk out the whole thing. And once more custom sefer Torah's Chatas, but he wrote in his sefer the Torah's Chatas Shim Isabeth Arukh, in name Eter Shim Chatak Dogim Meluchim Besakin Shal Isor, answer correct greater. If you cut salted fish with a prohibited knife, you only require scratching off the surface. If you cut them before they were salted, it's enough to just rinse them off. Why does it not mention anything here? Talking about the kamay meluchim yosef, see here it's particularly salty fish. Does I got churpa the melach because of the sharpness of the salt, the dukkah, the sakina, and the pressure of the knife. But they absorb more, and that's the shach. Ve'echshu, in any event, aimless or beharing v'shari dogim meluchim yosef k'dei netila. We shouldn't answer by herring other types of salted fish more than k'dei netila. Avshalom mokum hefsei bruba, even there's no hefsei bruba involved. Chaim b'chol l'bas or l'hefech. Also from milk to meat, it's or the opposite. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. I guess cutting with a milky knife and then putting a fleshik. Avashrias may herring shikoyin liak, but the brine, which herring has been salted, they're very sharp. But it's like a double which is cooked. The koshke and the chumetz have a such vinegar is very, very sharp. But lemons have a charif. No, so actually, this is a new thing, right? First, he says the brine has the charif. Then he says vinegar is double charif. Then he says lemons are charif. And also pickled olives have a double charif. Because they be charif, the hem charif and kibtzayim, they are just as sharp as olives. The koshke made lemons and certainly lemon juice. Umezeisim hakushim. And the water from the pickled olives, they're very sharp. Anything which is sharp, it's completely dry, and has no moisture. Like radish and onions, they're permitted even to cut them with a prohibited knife. Some people are not sure about this. As we will clarify. If you have spices which have been pressed, which have been pounded, which have been crushed with a mortar or pestle of which is fleshik, ben yom within past 24 hours used for fleshik. Also, not allowed to eat them with the milk. The mortar or pestle more than 24 hours before after the prior use. And so there's no prohibition. So there was Shem Sif Alf. There's like first opinion in Sif Alf. Avagadim Kuf Gimel Slesan Kiyeshomrim. Even though Sin Kuf Gimel says it's the opposite. Zeb Shel Isser. That's when they're prohibited. We're using mortar and pestle which are treif. Not by not as well relevant. Not relevant in that case. But if it's heter, either fleshik or milk, we're not machmir two churmas by not both by not when it's not by not ve'edo ben yom, it's not within 24 hours. Even here, even if it's Eino Ben Yomo, you should refrain. That's the primary perspective. It sounds like this, even where it's dry, a double charif is a problem. Because the herbs and spices there are dry. It's not like we saw in previous sif. Some people pass this way. And something which is sharp, doesn't matter if it's moist or dry. It's regarding the name Minchas Yaakov. But could be here's no proof. First of all, pounding is worse than regular knife pressure. Which you pound many times, it extracts much more what's absorbed. There's also going to be some moisture in any event. Like our friends testify. Shaking Sag is supposed to by a knife. Also by a mortar and pestle, by pounding, there's two sharpnesses. Churpas atavlin, the sharpness of the spice, churpas amduchatzman, the sharpness of the mortar itself. Shetosh kachim boharbe, since it's used often to pound, the yeshba tricharivus harbe, it's got a lot of sharpness. So, which it's a chiddush. But so that's not relevant to a knife. Tezayim. B'nei b'si beis chas v'rabbeinu ramadi bekom kamutal lechom merkachos charifim shel akum. Everyone's allowed to eat sharp confections made by a non-Jew. Could go in zangvil such as ginger, chitzubo. They have special kalim which use these purposes. Although sima, so they pluck it. I'm not sure what that means, but in any event, it doesn't come into contact with their other stuff. But otherwise, it's forbidden. Even the vessel's not ben yom bas yoma. You can't prove in this that Davacharif As is worth was dry. It actually comes also Zangvila Retifta made say about moist ginger. The Yesh Balachuk has moisture. Avim Zangvila Vashlim say about dry ginger. Yesh the darkon Shekochim also Maducha. It could be that since it's pounded in a mortar pestle, it's particularly charif. Yesh Poskim, those Poskim specifically Zangvila love it Davacharif cloud. So ginger is actually not a Davacharif. Yesh Zamachlim B'Shas Tzchak and lie them when you're under pressure. Shenochim was Zangbila Ingber, that we call it ginger. Became Mutzah Klos B'Sami, also allowed to buy herbs. Shenidochim B'Kalim Shalohem, which are crushed in their kalim. Minei Shaklim Yichayim Kaklis, they use special kalim for this, just for pounding the herbs and spices. Leimish Tamshi Bantash Mishach, and that you were saying the other purpose. Lochein Afilim Charif and Harbe, therefore you're very sharp. Mutter is permissible. Took also allowed to eat fruit which is fried in honey or sugar. They use special vessels for their confections. Confectorin, we eat the confections which come from a distance. Evidently from a place we have no hashgacha. Konditarski, also these confected fruits, which are fried. Mutter says it's mutter for that reason. When there's also about the radish itself, and the garlics and the onions themselves, etc. And if you cut vegetable on them, the vegetable which grows out of them, which is no problem. The yerik shalem and their vegetables, it's really vegetables probably bad translating. The greens. The Yerusham in their greens ain't no sharpness at all. Also, we're not sure if the radish was cut with a prohibited knife. We'll assume it was not. That's true, but everything. Therefore, you can buy radishes the same, which have cuts on towards their tails. We assume it's done with a hoe or some other implement which doesn't come in contact with forbidden foods. Was said many questions about this. The Shema Sakin lawyer Ben Yoma, maybe the knife wasn't within 24 hours. Like I'm the sphere the Vad Chiltis and Issa Davacharif. Rak Ben Yoma, perhaps you hold like the opinion that it's only by Chiltis is Davacharif also, even if it's not Ben Yomo. But in that case, if you know that the knife was used within the past 24 hours, for something also, it's awesome. Shemechlu Sakin. Because maybe there was something prohibited cut with the knife. If I have a fake of the rice, and then it's a subject of the rice. Well, actually, he's actually not saying it quite that way. He's saying that maybe it was cut with the knife. You don't know if it's cut with the hoe or with the knife, and this knife would make it also the rice. Those who allow it even in this circumstance, because the radish has a cheskas heter. So the answer till now. It's obviously not a real complete chazaka. The Islam was obviously fake, because obviously it was cut. You'd say it's like fake. Shem alone maybe it wasn't cut with this knife. If it was cut with this knife, Shem Levis, maybe you cut a turnip ahead of time, which is not a double cut. Vivatal time which negates the taste of the radish. We shall see. No matter what. As long as you don't know, Shenechtach Besakin Issa was cut with forbidden knife. Ben Yoma, which is within 24 hours of its last use. Malcolm Shane Nimtza, you can swaka chotum sakim in Yoma, a place where they only sell once that you cut with knives which will use in passion for hours for Isser. You can still be matter using these vegetables which are cut. There's even though it's charif, cut off the amount of a finger's breadth where the cuts took place. Chagam nation smoke day azun. This scenario can line the opinion. Shein doesn't make it's no chanan, doesn't ask the entire piece. So that's Rav Poskim is able to see it's majority of Poskim's opinion. Yuches mainly monis shemavim akum lemonade brought by non-Jews. Shecholchem limon, it's probably more lemon juice lemonade. Shecholchem limonis, they cut the lemons and motzimi menaku, and you take out from it. It's the not the pulp. Let's just call it juice for now. Recording limon is zoft, and he quotes. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of lemon juice. Two pieces of herring, which are being in jugs, barrels. The Mishnah according to Pin holds that it's charif. Come, mutar, never less than mutar. Nation mevim our baby yakos. They bring lots of them together. So even the first few were also because they were cut with a prohibited knife. They're negated by all the ones which cut afterwards, which are not also because the taste is really dissipated. You know, we hold chanan by other prohibitions. Everything cut should be considered nevela. Not here. Because the taste of Isser was very totally removed, extracted when you cut the first pieces. That's their own mutter. Etc. It's not like a radish is cut very finely, it needs 60 corresponding to the entire volume of the radish. The Hachashani here it's different. This is the commercial way of doing it. To make many barrels. So I love you count lemons into the thousands. So the taste is still negated by the first few cuts in the lemons. We don't know the knife was used in the batch 24 hours. And maybe you only answer when it's Ein Ben Yomo with Chiltis, now and then the other type of Chorev. Furthermore, this is the way you do commercial activity. Perhaps they even have designated knives, which are not used for other purposes. The bracket says here, I am back for Shach to see conversation. Nitchu Bezel, if you must have the Divrei Ramah, B'chuyin B'taimon, according to the Ramah, it's clear. In case of places, you can have Shal Gankein, L'chein Koke, it's Be'elu, Ein Kan Chashash, so therefore in such case where they're cutting major truckloads, there's no problem. You test Chasar Ben Ramah, B'sib the Midin said the main limonis from this halach of lemon juice, these brushes by which he explained, L'chein Chlim Sas L'chomas HaKuv, Shkoin Komst Avagad Paras B'chotzach. Therefore, in some places they eat the cabbage, which is called kompesht, even though it's already cut and sliced. Said the people who macher follow the minhag hamokum. The other things she'ain charifin, which are not sharp, tapuchim, such as apples, the preservation of dried fruit. Because they would say, "No, we're macher just like with lemons. You don't macher at all." End quote. What's it mean to say? But they cut this cabbage after it's become sauerkraut. It's not our cabbage you call kraut. Here we're cutting it before it was fermented. There's a lot of worms in this mean. Also, now to even longer than Jew, because there are many worms. Therefore, even though we eat their pickles and their beets, there's no concern of prohibition. Because you use clean vessels. Even they put the pickles in hot liquid. Stam came in a yomam. We assume that the kalim would not be used within the past 24 hours. For the they cook the water in clean vessels. So they don't get an off taste. But anyway, people don't eat because of the worms. Alzamin Kruv who mean she'enu muksub toloim. So this is not quite, but some other type which is not assumed to be wormy. Zamin Kruv so you cut it after it becomes fermented. And it's like the lemons. Some people ask the cabbage, even though it's not muksuk into worms. Some say some people they then place also machrim lemons. The chatamo, it's the same reason. Yeshu Nenokin, those it's not like that. The lemons come in by lemons, even those places conduct themselves as it's mutter, the shishim can be because they're special kalim, which we discussed before. That seems to be quite clear from the language of the Rambam, which concludes with other fruit, we're accustomed to be matir, just like limons. It sounds quite clear that lemons were matir all over the place. When you put something sharp in water, the sharpness is negated. It's like a brine which is negated by water. Saying it's written about olives. When you sweeten something which is sharp with honey or with sugar, the sharpness is negated. Therefore, there were sages of Prague, Paskin, in Basar, if you have a cooked dish which has many onions with meat, Shabbos, which you did have to mana with, in other words, you can maintain its heat. Shabbos B'Kdeir Shel in a milchik pot, Shena Bas Yom, but was not using penetrating past 4 hours from milchik. The mutter, okay, the fish and basha and tzon be'erev Shabbos, because the onions are cooked before they're put into this pot. And just plain water. And then you put it into the fleshik pot. By that time, their sharpness has been negated. This is from the base of frame. No, he says Yaraframe. Then this you derive, extrapolate to all things similar. Therefore, it says, seems here also the dog, which is washing by bait people in fish which cook a lot of pepper and a lot of onion. The great amount of water about dogging by smum and the fish themselves. They diminish the taste of the sharpness. Herring, and herring, even those are old, that's a davar charf. If you cook it with vinegar and honey, the honey sweetens the sharpness. Hachometz of the vinegar of a herring, not considered to have status of davar. So to radishes and onions, we put in them oil or fat, but the sharpness of them is considered to be cancelled. Okay, the brackets here brings the rye of somewhere else, but it doesn't tell us what the rye is, so we will not get into it.